Yobo, welcome to another episode of In the Life of MightyFan. We got some pickups here over the past few months. Just kind of drips and drabs here I haven't showed yet. This first one, kind of a strange, story about this. So, I think it was in one of the threads in one of the groups a while back or something like that. I saw it on Facebook, and someone was asking a question whether this site was legit. And for the most, the comments, it seemed pretty good. So I bookmarked the site, and a lot of times you just never know, right? And the name of the site is kind of a funky name, so it seems like it would be something that might not be good, but it was. And the name of the site was Basketball Jersey. That's the name of the site, and sometimes you do have to be careful, dealing with outside sites and whatnot. But the prices on the site is one of the things that told me that it was probably pretty good, up and up, not a fake site. Because a lot of times the fake sites, when you see pictures of jerseys and whatnot, they're like $40, $50 is like real cheap for like a brand new jersey. And it's like, there might be something going on there, right? But this one actually had pretty close to retail prices for the jerseys, and particularly the Mitchell & Ness jerseys. But this one's actually $50 off at the time when I got it. And it was one of the last of the holdouts for me for the Kobe jerseys that Mitchell & Ness has made over the years. There's only like a handful others that I wanted, and I was able to get two of them within the same kind of period of time, which was cool. And I think of all the Kobe jerseys they've made now, I think there's still like one, two. No, actually there's about two left. I think that's still on my hit list to get. But this was one of the ones I was able to knock off from Basketball Jersey. That's the name of the site. And the stuff comes from overseas, from Japan, I believe, and it got to me in like a week. It was like crazy. It was like I ordered it, and then they emailed me just confirming my phone number. And I gave them the phone number, and like a day or two later, it was on the doorstep. I'm like, wow, that was pretty quick. I don't know if they all come that quick, or if I just kind of got lucky with this one. I have no idea. It's the only jersey I got from that site. There's one other that I would like to get at some point, but we'll see. But shout out to Basketball Jersey, and shout out to whoever put that on Facebook and just asked a question. So here's the jersey. It's the Kobe Mitchell & Ness 100% legit jersey from the 09-10 season. They did celebrate coming off a title, so it does have the championship deal right there. Of course, they have added to their championship words are tough for me right now. Their championship trophy case. Since at the time they were the 15-time champs. Now, of course, they've won again, and I believe it's now 16. I think Boston's up there still, one ahead of them at 17. But yeah, this is the home jersey, of course, for Kobe. I guess it was banner night or whatever for the Lakers, so they were celebrating their title, which is why they had the patch. Kobe 24, of course, rest in peace to Mamba. Diehard Eagles fan, Kobe Bryant. And fun little fact, he and I were born 2 days apart in 1978. And I did go to high school with him for a year at Lower Merion. Really didn't know him, but probably passed him in the hall a time or two. But, certainly he is missed. But another one for the Kobe collection. And that's why you never know. As a Jersey head, you scour everywhere that you can to find these things. And Basketball Jersey is the place where this one came from. But definitely cool. So there's that. And also, this was eBay. This was another one of those kind of last of the holdouts for me for the Kobe jerseys that Mitchell & Ness has made. Again, there's like two more that I still want to get, but was able to knock off two of them. Otherwise, it would have been four. So here is the purple number 8 from the 2000 season. So it has the All-Star patch. Of course, Mitchell & Ness made a few of the other All-Star jerseys from 2000 this past season. I know they made the one I got, the Jason Kidd Fireball Suns, Purple Suns. They also made like Iverson, Vince Carter, you know, Duncan. They made a few of them, Shaq. But this is the Kobe one that Mitchell & Ness made years ago. Bryant 8 on the back. February 13, 2000, which is the date of that All-Star game in Golden State. Kobe Bryant. Right there again, this was an eBay purchase. And there is, again, the All-Star logo right there from 2000. Kobe, number 8 on this particular jersey. So there's that one off the list. And we're moving along here. We'll stick with the NBA. This is a swingman, but it's a jersey in a style that I've kind of had my eye on for a bit. And went with that Houston Rockets, the Oilers, you know, homage jersey, city edition from some years ago. So it does have the Oilers colorway on this jersey, the light blue, love you blue, the red and the white in the H-town there. 13, of course, is the beard. James Harden from his time with the Rockets swingman jersey. But again, this is a style that I've wanted for a bit just because it does have that homage to the Oilers. And if you don't believe me, here's the proof. Here's an Oilers hat for the Wamba. Boom, there it is. the Houston Rockets, Houston Oilers homage. And I remember on their court at that time they had like the colorway going too for the Oilers. That was pretty cool. The old Oilers, of course, now the Tennessee Titans. But James Harden right there again, swingman. Houston Rockets. Again, this was a city edition from some years ago, but it was a ode to the Oilers, so that's pretty cool. And I know Houston sports have done that. I know I want to say the University of Houston's done some odes to the Oilers too with some of their colorways and such, particularly for football over the years. So that's pretty cool that they do that. And we're going to move along here. One more basketball here. And this one I have Rez to thank for. He was selling this, and I got this from Rez. So shout out to Resurrection. This was part of his collection. It's now part of mine. The throwback Los Angeles Lakers Nike Authentic Shaq jersey. Mitchell & Ness, of course, made this. And this is the Nike edition, the authentic Nike, the jock tag, if I can get work for me here. Size 52, Los Angeles 34, all double stitched on the front. And then you got O'Neal 34 on the back. Beautiful jersey. I always liked this. I liked when they wore this as their classic edition some years ago. I didn't get a LeBron back then. I did want one. I just was too slow on the trigger to get one at the time. You can find it on eBay or whatnot. Maybe I'll get one eventually, but, you know, they brought these back a few years ago. I think they should just keep them in the rotation, to be honest. I've always liked these. But, you know, you got the blue, you got the light blue. A lot of blue. Blue and white going on in this jersey. But the Los Angeles Lakers throwback Shaq, Nike Authentic. And I do have the Mitchell & Ness, the old run, thanks to Slim. I have the Mitchell & Ness Kobe in this from years ago, USA run. But this one, of course, is Nike Authentic. Shout out again to Rez for that one. All right, let's get some football going here, right? We got some football, and this one appears to be stuck. Took a little time to get this off the rack, but this is an authentic. This is an authentic Reebok equipment logo. Julius Peppers, Carolina Panthers. Jersey right here. Got this from one of the members in the groups. A bit back. Peppers 90 on the back. Everything is double stitched onto a nameplate. The 90 double stitched as well. Hasn't been a lot right going in Philly sports of late, but the the Panthers kind of helped us out today by beating the Dallas Cowboys today. It was like, all right, at least there's something. It's been pretty rough. Otherwise, more of that in the Season of the Fan series coming up later in the week. But Julius Peppers, Carolina Panthers. The Panther logo is pressed on, but everything else is stitched. And again, this is an authentic Reebok equipment logo. Jersey from years ago. Jack tag right there. Peppers, Hall of Famer, of course. And started out with the Carolina Panthers. Had some really good years in Carolina before moving on to different teams over the years. Let's see. What do I want to show next? Let's go to, all right, we'll knock this one out of the way. This was an eBay pickup. And yes, not overly proud of it. But again, it's a jersey that the deal was too good to pass on. And, you know, again, I consider the collection like a museum. So you're going to have pieces in the museum that, you know, I'm not a fan of this team at all, but it's in the museum. It's in the museum. So we got the Cowboys here. We got that Drew Pearson. This is not a Michael Irvin. It's not a C.D. Lamb. It's not a Des Bryant. It's a Drew Pearson who made 88 famous with Dallas first before those other players came along over the years. But Pearson 88, this is a 1982, everything pressed on to this jersey, the navy blue jersey. Oh, 83, I'm sorry, 83, 82, of course, they celebrate their 25th. But this is an 83. Pearson with the captaincy, and that's one of the things that just drew me to this, that darn captaincy on the front. It's a little thing, but it kind of drew me to it. Yeah. Again, not overly proud of having some Cowboy jerseys in the collection, but we do have some. Again, this is a all-inclusive museum collection here, so there's a few pieces in here. Like it was said on that, like I said in the CBS Philly piece. Shout out again to CBS Philly and to Nikki Dementri. But like I said in there, you know, I'm not overly proud of having them, but it's like a museum. And the museum, they have pieces by artists maybe they're not exactly fans of, but they have pieces anyhow because it's in the collection. It's this. I gotta put this one down. Let's get to baseball, although that sport hasn't been very kind to me either this week. But let's go to baseball, and I gotta give my buddy Snacks a big shout out because I got some of these jerseys from him. He was selling, and I was buying. So this is the Ken Griffey Jr. All-Star, circa 1997, right there. So of course this was the 50th for the Breaking Berries, Jackie Robinson. So you have that patch on the one side. And shout out to the Mariners. They made it to the ALCS for the first time since '01. So it's been a minute for the Mariners. So I'm glad to see them. I'm glad to see them having success. And that should be a really good series, them in Toronto. And I think the NL too, even though my Phillies crapped the bed again. But I think the Dodgers and the Brewers should be a pretty good series. And I think whoever makes it to the World Series, I think we might have a pretty good World Series this year. So, you know, even though my Phillies won't be in it, I always watch, you know, so I just hope to have, you know, a good World Series to watch this year. And I'm pulling for the Mariners. Of the four teams left, I'm pulling for the Mariners because they haven't won it yet. And I know Milwaukee hasn't either. But Seattle's never even been to a World Series. They've never been to a World Series, so I'm pulling for the M's. And, you know, that's one of the teams that I like growing up because of Griffey. So, you know, I have a little Mariner, you know, in me. So, a little Mariners fandom in me. So, you know, I'm pulling for the M's the rest of the way. Griffey 24 on the back, all double stitch. Beautiful jersey, the red jersey. I know that some companies made a hat to go with this jersey with the Seattle Compass logo on the front and the 50th on the side for the Robinson. I never did get one. And I'm kind of hunting around for it now because I have the... And I've wanted the jersey. You thought I would have gotten the hat just in case. But, you know, we'll find it at some point. But, yeah, there you go. So shout out to Snacks for this one. The 97 All-Star Griffey. And I also got these from him as well. A couple BP jerseys from Mitchell and Ness. We got the Griffey Road BP rookie year with the 24 on the back. Put this one down here. The inside I usually have the year. I think it's 89. Yeah, 89. Yep, 89. Griffey the kid. I have the blue version, so I guess the home version. So you know, had a chance to get the set. So there you go. And again, I was a kid fan growing up, so you know, finishing off the BPs for him. BP collection, Griffey. And this one is one you don't see as often anymore. So we got the A. Shout out to Bay Area, Rez, all you Bay Area guys. The formerly Oakland A's, Ricky Henderson. And it's got the pressed on 35. And it's got the pressed on A's logo on the front. So this is one you don't see too often. And I have a decent amount of Ricky Henderson A's BPs. So this was one of the ones I didn't have. So I was glad to knock this off the list when he wore 35. So that's early in his career when he wore number 35. And the year on this one is on the inside as usual, 1981. Ricky Henderson. Beautiful jersey. And again, big shout out to Snacks for these three, the two BPs and the Griffey All-Star from 97. Great additions to the collection or the museum, whatever you want to call it. This one, it really became a hard one to get, and it completes the set for me because I had the others. And we have the Orioles Brooks Robinson pullover, alternate orange Oriole jersey. Really nice piece right here, Robinson number 5. Of course, the Robinson is on a nameplate, all single stitch, double stitch for the 5. Orioles 5. How many Oriole jerseys do you need? We got another one. 1975 is your season. Right there is your year. This one out of the set is probably the hardest one to find. Because you see the Ripken. The Ripken they actually remade, but it's a newer one. So it was a throwback one. He wore this one originally, but it was the one that they wore as like a throwback because it has the MLB logo on the back, and as you can see, it had the MLB logo. And when Ripken originally wore it, it didn't have the MLB logo. So they made him. They made Murray. They made Palmer, and they made Robinson in the pullovers. And of course, you know, they made. It's not the orange one, it's the road gray, but the Reggie Jackson for the 1 year he was there. But that's neither here nor there. But the 4 of this orange set, and I think of the Reggie Jacksons, I think of like that era, you know, for the Orioles. They made the 4. They made Robinson. They made Ripken originally. They made Murray, and they made Palmer. And you see the other 3. Like, you can find them. They're findable. But the Robinson, that's the one. That's like this is like almost like the unicorn one anymore. So when I had a chance to get it, I had to have it. I just had to have it. So just to complete that set. So there you go. And I did forget to bring a jersey upstairs, so I'll have to show it in the next one. But I do have one of the 2. The other one's still in Mitchell Ness bag. I still have to bring it up, show it in a vid. But Mitchell Ness recently put these out. This is the batting practice for my all-time favorite Philly, Jimmy Rollins. J-Roll, of course. He didn't wear number 11 his call-up year. He wore number 29. So they got that correct. Rollins 29. They made this. They put out these jerseys on the 25th anniversary of his call-up day. The day he was called up. So Mitchell Ness dropped these 2. The authentic home and the BP red. It's got the Batterman on the back. I do have both. I bought them both at the flagship store, but the authentic home is still sitting downstairs in the bag. So you'll see that in a future vid. But this one is here in hand that I can show you in the vid. Chain stitching for the Phillies, the way the Phillies had it back then. This is circa 2000. It's when he came up. That was his call-up season. And I actually met J. Roll after that season at a Meet the Phillies function at the King of Prussia Mall. It was many years ago, back in the day. I got his autograph on a ball. So, and like I said, he became my all-time favorite Philly. Of course, he was the straw that stirred the drink for those teams that, went on to win a World Series and have a lot of success. And always be a big fan of him for what he did, as a Philly. All-time the Phillies hit king, and a great Philly. Great Philly for many years. And, he'll always be remembered fondly in the Phillies uniforms. And I do want to give another shout out to the Bay Area guys, because he's from the Bay Area. He was an Oakland guy. So there you go. He was in an MC Hammer video back in the day. But of course, he'll always be remembered as a Philly. And I think he should be a Hall of Famer. People can debate that. I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. His numbers are very comparable to Barry Larkin, who is in the Hall of Fame. And I know I kind of got called out on that on Views from the Vault many years ago when I was arguing that J. Roll should be a Hall of Famer. They're like, well, you can't compare his numbers to other players. I'm like, it's baseball. You always compare numbers to former players. That's what it is, to decide who should be a Hall of Famer and who shouldn't. But it is what it is. Shout out to the fellas. But anyhow, we're moving along. Last but not least, this was a eBay pickup, or I'm sorry. This was an eBay pickup. An authentic, majestic jersey right here. I want to say this is a cool base from back in the day. Again, the chain stitching, which I wish they still had. Nike doesn't do the chain stitching anymore. You have the hidden L as well, and the J-Roll has it too. Jason Worth, speaking of players that were helpful in the team that won the title back in 08. J-Dub actually led the Phillies in average during that World Series. And if Cole Hamels didn't pitch the way Cole Hamels did, he may have been the World Series MVP in 08. But J-Dub had a nice run with the Phillies. And this one is from the 09 World Series. So this is the one they lost to the Yankees. But it is an authentic jersey and an authentic World Series jersey, which I still have to get an authentic 08 World Series jersey, which, I have the authentic World Series champs jersey. I just don't have an authentic, majestic World Series. But, we'll get there at some point, I'm sure. But I got the 09 one, and this is the first authentic 09 World Series Phillies jersey I have in my collection. So, and it was a player I didn't have a jersey of already, so it was pretty cool to find another player. And J-Dub had a nice run with the Phillies. Nice little find by a player that the Dodgers gave up on. That was Pat Gillick. He was always 2 steps ahead of everybody, and he saw something in Jason Worth, and Jason kind of resurrected his career with the Phillies and went on to have some really successful years with the Phillies, and then he got paid. He got that cheddar with the Washington Nationals, and then, he's since been welcomed back into the fold with the Phillies, and he comes back from time to time, and for different things, for like anniversaries or whatever, and he's greeted fondly here. He was a fan favorite, and nice to see him be appreciated again as a Philly alum. But anyhow, there is his 09 authentic World Series jersey, home jersey. And I think that's it. I think I shared everything. Again, I apologize. I did not bring the authentic Jimmy Rollins home number 29 jersey. But, you can kind of tell what it was. But it's the same as that Jason Worth, just Rollins 29 and no World Series patch on there. But I will show that in the next vid when I'm showing stuff, that's not hockey. I do have an In the Life Ice series vid to do. I'll probably try to get to that later in the week. I do have one package coming in the mail, which is hockey related. So once that comes in, I think I'll show it. I have some other stuff over here, and then that other, what's in that package to share. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And like I said, I have a Season of the Fan series, a vid to do later in the week. I'm going to touch, of course, on the Eagles. It's been rough. These past couple games, but we're going to talk about, I'm also going to talk a little on the Phillies there too, as the season has come to a close, and about what I'm hoping for in the offseason. Because Season of the Fan is always going to be primarily about the Eagles. But I'm a Philadelphia sports fan, 4 for 4, 5 for 5, whatever you want to call it with these teams. And, you know, the Phillies have a special part for me, too. I want to, you know, I want to see better. I want to see better in the playoffs. And it's been a disappointment these past few years. It really has. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Got some stuff to get off my chest on that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Eagles, of course. And there's also going to be another video in the new series, Mighty Reviews, you know, coming up later in the week, too. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. You don't want to miss it. So what do you always want to do, right? You want to leave those likes, of course. Keep leaving those likes. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Again, I'm trying to get the 2K subs by the end of the year. You can make that happen. We only have a few months left here, right? 2.5 more months to go until it's 2026, which is going to be a big year for America, the 250th birthday, right? But I want to get to that 2K subs before that. You can make that happen by hitting the subscribe button. It's always appreciated, and I thank all my loyal subscribers to this point. Looking to get some more, so tell your family, tell your friends, and you can make that happen by just clicking that button. And make sure you also click the bell icon so you're notified to all future content from yours truly. We have so much going on here on the channel, whether it's the In the Life series, the In the Life Ice, the Season of the Fan, Mighty Reviews. You just never know what's going to come out next in this for this channel, and you don't want to miss it, right? So you always want to do those things, and it's free. Hit the sub, hit the bell icon, hit those likes, and those are the rules of eBay, right? And again, it's free to do, so that's what you got to do. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. A little of everything. Okay, hockey we reserved for the one series, but we had football, we had basketball, we had baseball. Again, shout out to Rez and the Snacks for, you know, for some of these pickups. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. Look, I'm upstairs and I'm not sweating. That means it's not hot anymore. All right, I don't want to speak too loud, okay? So, but anyhow, I thank all of you for the support to the channel as always, and I will see you again very soon here. We'll have some other vids for other series going on in the Life Iced, Mighty Reviews, and Season of the Fan. So it's going to be another jam-packed week coming up, and you don't want to miss it, so keep tuning in. All right, everyone, take care and enjoy all the games out there, even though my Philly teams, you know, they're doing Philly teams things. But enjoy all the games out there. The playoffs continue for baseball, and we have NFL football, we have college football, we have the NHL season just got underway. I'm meeting my buddy Mark M tomorrow night for the to go out to a restaurant to watch the home opener for the Flyers. So looking forward to that. And then we'll have the NBA and NCAA basketball season starting pretty soon too. So a lot going on. This time of year is jam-packed with sports. I love it. I love it. Even though my teams don't always love me back. But, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. But it's a great time of year for sports. And if you're a sports nut like myself, you know, the remote goes on overdrive. It just does. All right, everyone. Well, thanks again for watching and tuning in. And I will see you in the next one. You all take care.